So I'll just be updating on you on all that, and to talk about it I want to come back here at home to angalia what's really happened here at home. We had Gor Mahia versus Mathare United. Also we had AFC Leopards versus Shabana, where we saw a lot of goals. I think mwenye alikuwa ameweka over 5.5 alikula kitu. Anyway, also pale EPL we saw Chelsea versus Arsenal, and also again Manchester United keep their winning ways. They still continue to win with another win over Crystal Palace, which was an amazing win over Crystal Palace. And also talking about wins, what we expect from our Harambee Starlets, because we have the WAFCON, which will start on date 17, which is next week. So we have a lot of expectation from them. Remember, they traveled just recently on Saturday morning to Ivory Coast, where they are going to play two friendlies, because before they head to France, where they play their pre-tournament, then their major tournament, where we face Algeria, Morocco and Senegal in the WAFCON. And we hope to see that we manage to pass through the group stage. Remember, in 2016 we did not manage to go past the group stage, but this time we want to see them going through past the group stage. Even tuseme ukweli, we can even carry this cup. Anyway, in the studio I'm not alone kama kawaida. You know, I have this one of the biggest Arsenal fans with me hapa hivi, anaitwa Kevin. Kevin kwanza leo kona furaha mingi sana. Yeye tu ni kucheka tu, najua mbona. And talking about Arsenal and Chelsea, go pale social media, you put a post pale about that game. Just go there, comment, then I'll be sampling some of the few comments tukiendelea during the show. But I just want to welcome Kevin in the studio. Tuambie weekend yako imekuwa aje bana?
Weekend yangu imekuwa furaha. Manake of course, you know what happened. But I don't know why you had to begin by, it was a sad moment for you. You could have as well kusema it was what an Arsenal weekend, you know. But anyway, a lot of matches have been played.
Yeah.
So let's do the banter thing and inform our audience. And,
okay, just introduce yourself to the audience kidogo.
Yeah, sure. Not for granted, because there are those that are watching us for the first time. So I like calling myself SOK. It's just an abbreviation name, which stands for Sir Otieno Kevin. You know, as a Luo man from the lakeside, you must have titles. So you can't just revert yourself to
Sir.
Yeah, you can't, if you haven't, attained the one any, you know. So if you're not an engineer, if you're not a doctor yet, I'm still in the process of, securing them. But for now, let me just go with Sir Otieno Kevin. Yeah, I'm a KMC student, of course, with a little bit touch background in ICT. Yeah, and sport analyst as well. So
Kabisa.
Yeah, so let's do our thing.
Okay, if you're joining us right now, this is the sports round of Kam Kawida. The hashtag is still we're in the morning. Let's just get straight into it. Let's tuangalie hapa Kenya what it's happening here at home. I remember I've told you about the WAFCON. We talked about it March, I think in February, in March, and also in January we talked about this WAFCON, that we expect our ladies to go there. But there's some issues that were brought, Kevin.
Yep.
Some issues that were brought after we saw the 25 players that were picked.
Yeah, sure.
With some absentees that were not in the squad, like the likes of Elizabeth Mideva. Yeah. So do you think for those that lineup that tunatupeleka kwa the 25 players, do you think is the best, ama kidogo tunaona kuna utatanishi pale?
Speaking on that, also on our Harambee side, let me just give the comparison. One time when Ghost Muleya was the head coach of Harambee, he once said that the head coach doesn't have the final say. So coach mwenyewe angependelea, because coach ndo akona players kwa ground. So the coach, him or herself, knows who best fit, you know, to be in the first 11 or to be in the squad, you know. But I guess the interference of the coach not having, you know, all the say, sometimes, you know, unajua coach ni mtu ambayo ameajiriwa kazi. Kwa hivyo sometimes the bucks doesn't stop with the coach, you know. So also other partners, stakeholders also have a say on it. So anyway, let's just wish them the best. But really, leaving key players sometimes will be to our detriment, you know. But it's all decided. Because the coach doesn't have all the say.
Some of the names that were dropped includes Medina Abubakar, and also Marceline Majaro, and also Lorna Faith, and also Pretty Akinyi, Elizabeth Mideva, and also Diana Shakava, and also Mary Majeso, Vivian Shionzo, and also Kayole Starlets forward, Fraser Shilowatso. So those are just the key names that were dropped. Remember, the squad that traveled to Ivory Coast consists of 25 players, 13 of them which are local players. Then we have some imported players from who play in the Tanzanian league and also in the Ugandan league, and also some who play in the Europe, like the goalkeeper that was traveled with the squad. But we expect much from Belendine Odemba. We want to see the best of this squad. We want to see them pass the group stage and also maybe to the final of the WAFCON. Anyway, just look at the Kenya Premier League. Sasa tuone what really happened in the Kenya Premier League. Remember, Shabana, I told you, played against FC Leopards. I think that was the main match of the weekend, where we saw a lot of goals, with Shabana being thrashed 5-1 by FC Leopards, which means FC Leopards cements their number 2 position so far with all the games played. With the 22 games played, they have only 6 points behind Gor Mahia. But what do we expect from FC Leopards this season?
Actually, as you just said it, that was so many matches were played, of course, but ile ndio ilikuwa ni ya kuangaziwa, because remember, Shabana with FC, they're following each other on the table, right? So I guess this was the tiebreaker. Like, okay, you're on my neck, so let me just this match was the tiebreaker. Okay, fine. Though with the goals that Shabana conceded, never saw that coming. Actually, even they went ahead to apologize to their fans. Yeah, the management went ahead to apologize to the fans, because it's not okay with a big team like Shabana right now this season conceding much goal. I think the worst could have happened is maybe a 2-1, you know, that kind of shrub, just like how they met in the first leg. Remember the first leg, of course FC won with a 2-1, of course, goal difference. But I think what really pissed so many Shabana fans it wasn't even the loss itself, but how they lost it. The goals themselves are the ones that, you know, even one of their fans went ahead and thought that maybe they did something on the pitch, which of course is not the case.
Juju, I told you, Juju does not work with football. Hakuna mambo ya Juju kwa football. It's pure football. If you lose, there's sometimes that you lose and some other times that you win. So Shabana lost to FC Leopards 5-1 with a goal from, let me just tell you who scored in that match. It's a lot of goals. I did not even keep up with the names that he scored. It was Semo, and also Otieno, and also Senyenjo
with the brace.
With the brace, and also Odhiambo pale akamaliza kupiga 5-1. So Shabana still sitting number 3 in the table, but let's say maybe they have shown us they can do something in the Premier League. Maybe definitely. In the 5 years, like I think I asked you that question early on last week. Because in the 5 years, maybe you can see Shabana going for the title.
Yeah, sure. Because they were just from the
National Super League. So Gor Mahia is still sitting number 1 with 49 points. And talking about Gor Mahia, I told you they played against Mathare United, where they managed to thrash Mathare United 2-1. But what did you see about that match? Did you think you dominated Mathare United, or you just scraped the win?
You see, not really, because hata wengine walisema tulibatika through the penalty though. But you know, we need such kind of loopholes, you know, for at least a winner to be found, you know. But what stood out for me were the imports. Remember, all the Ghanaians, all the scorers for Gor Mahia were imports. So they're really doing, you know, quite tremendous job. I remember even the coach, Charles, right? For Gor Mahia. He's also a Ghanaian, you know. So I guess the imports are kind of trying to do some impressive job, you know. But with the local players, should, like, it should, though I understand we should have that team spirit, but as the local players, I think they should kind of, you know, show some domination as well. You know, let them not let you know, the import, because that kind of, on another point of view, seems to be like the import are the ones wanakuja kuokolea
managing
team, wanakuja kuokolea team and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it was an impressive win. Win is a win regardless of how.
Points.
Yeah, just like how we thrashed you. A win is a win. Doesn't matter how we won, and all that.
Okay, so Ebenezer Asifuna from Ghana, that he has said started the scoring in the 67th minute. Remember, in the first half, no goals scored. So in the 67th minute, Ebenezer Asifuna now started the scoring. Then later on in the 82nd minute, now Dennis Okoth from Mathare United managed to draw the game, 1-1 draw. But later on in the 87th, after just 5 minutes later, Morrison managed to get the penalty for Gor Mahia to manage to give them a 2-1 win over Mathare United. But after the match, the coach from Mathare United, that is Josh Kamau, made some statement. Akasema the key of beating Gor Mahia is just managing to dominate them in the midfield.
Sure.
Akasema mkishika those two pivots wa midfield, Gor Mahia iko kabisa.
True.
But we can see what will happen. Gor Mahia still sitting at number 1 in the table, so it's a good run for them. They are favorites still to win the league. And also another match that was played was Moranga Sales against Posta Rangers, which ended with Moranga Sales getting a 1-0 win over Posta Rangers. Then another match that was played was Police against Bandari. Remember, Police, they were not doing amazing, but the last match they played against Sofapaka, then they managed to win against Sofapaka. Then they played against Bandari, they managed to win against Bandari. But can we say now Police are back to their winning ways?
With football, it's unpredictable. Just like how right now, if you look on the table, previously Kariobangi with Sofapaka, like we were saying, like they kind of decided that they were to be relegated. But look at now where Kariobangi Sharks is. Though they are not that totally off the hook, because with their win against APS Bomet, that is, if you take a look on, I think it's APS Bomet with Ulinzi, right? They are tying. They're tying with 19 points though, but the goal difference is the tiebreaker. And with Kariobangi Sharks up on Ulinzi, because it's Ulinzi, then Kariobangi Sharks up, So you find that if in case Kariobangi loses and Ulinzi get to win, they are now back to relegation. So with football, it's unpredictable. Is that for they just have to maintain the consistency of getting to win, or worse that can happen is to draw. Because right now within the KPL table, I think we are less than 10 matches for the season to end, because we are playing around
29 matches. So they are played around 22, 23.
Yeah,
so it's about 6 to 7 matches.
So you can see how tight the race is currently, and we are almost in the finishing line. So ile kulose shouldn't be there, because right now if a team loses consecutive, that's why FC had to win, because remember they were beaten with KCB on Thursday. So they had to win, but how they thrashed Shabana is still, can't still fathom that. But because they knew in their mind, if they lost against Shabana would have overtaken. Na pia kurudi pale on the top spot would have been really difficult.
Also even for the title.
Sure. So for now, we're almost on the finishing line. The race is also tight, and losing it's a no-go zone.
The strong man will finish. The
so the worst can happen is maybe they draw. But if you lose currently, and more so when you lose consecutively, then it's a buy for you. It's a buy for you.
Okay, talking about losing and winning, we saw Kariobangi Sharks manage to beat APS Bomet, who has been terrifying for the big teams. APS Bomet, remember, imekalia sana teams kubwa, but did not manage to win against Kariobangi Sharks. Kariobangi Sharks managed to get a 1-0 win over APS Bomet. Then we had a game that was played during the week, was KCB against Leopards, where KCB beat Leopards 1-0. Then we had Ulinzi Stars against Kakamega Homeboyz, which was a 1-1 draw. Then we had APS Bomet against Kariobangi Sharks, as I've told you, Kariobangi Sharks getting a 1-0 over APS Bomet. Then we had Bidco United against Marashuga, where it was a 2-2 draw. Then we had Sofapaka against Police, where Police managed to beat Sofapaka 2-0. But also we had Nairobi United and Bandari, which is a 1-1 draw. And talking about Nairobi United, remember they signed Aumalo, the striker. But there's this I think the anti-doping,
Yeah.
anti-doping, it's called the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, managed to suspend him
Yeah.
because there's some allegations that amekuwa akitumia
Some drugs.
some supplements. So do you think it's also a problem? Because even about talking about problems, yeah, there's this issue when tumekuwa tukiongelea sana about match fixing, and also the FKF president, that is Hussein Mohamed, managed to talk about it. Akasema the main reason that they cannot fight match fixing is because we don't have the resources, and also we don't have the enough like the resources kama VAR nini vitu kama hizo to conquer the mambo na match fixing. So we have two problems zenye ziko at hand side. You have the mambo ya doping, because a lot of players have been suspended. I have the list. I'll just read it to you later on. I have the list. A lot of players have been suspended, but the main key player tunaongelea hapa in Nairobi United Stake Omalo, and also we have the match fixing problem. So do you think these are some of the major problems that we need to be talking about?
For sure, because you know, there are those that want shortcut, you know, to greatness, which should be condemned by all means, because you find others putting a lot of resources, their energy, time and money. I think even the coach for Police FC, Nicholas, you know, after their match, I think he complained about that. You know, match fixing. It has been there since time immemorial. You know, it's only that I think resources to fight it, just like how the FKF president Hussein Mohamed put it, because I think it's the skeleton, you know, in our wardrobe, and it's just like corruption, man. You know, you cannot get rid of it, but you can just minimize it, you know, or rather reduce it. But getting rid of it, I guess it will be a nightmare for us.
It will be a nightmare.
Yeah, and on the doping thing, I used to hear this on in athletes, right? But it coming to football, I think should be condemned by all means. Because I mean, you know. Okay, for athletes, it's kind of understandable because they are running for hours, you know. You find someone marathon for 2 hours and all that. But, I mean, in football, you know, you just need to pass and all that. Sometimes you find even a player standing for, I mean, why? Why use those kind of supplements? For what purpose, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense for that.
Okay, so the list of the players that have been suspended so far, or just check it out later. But this is how the table looks like. I remember I have not told you the table looks like. So we have Gor Mahia number 1 with 49 points. Then at number 2 is of course FC Leopards with 43 points. Then Shabana at number 3 with 40 points. Then we have Police FC at number 4 with 37 points. Then at number 5 is Murang'a Seals with 36 points. Then we have Kakamega Homeboys with 35 points. Then Bandari at number 7 with 32 points, that is. Then we have KCB at number 8 with 32 points as well. Then at number 9 is Tusker with 31 points. Then at number 10 is Nairobi United at with 29 points, but they have played 19 games played. So they have about 4 to 3 matches to play to catch up with the others. So they have an advantage, a big advantage. So at number 11 is Mathare United with 26 points. Then at number 12 is Mara Sugar with 25 points. Then number 13 is Postal Rangers with 24 points. Then number 14, Kariobangi Sharks with 22 points. Then number 15, just out of the relegation battle, but we can say they are still in the relegation battle, is number 15, Ulinzi Stars with 19 points. Tied at number 16, who are in the relegation zone, is APS Bomet with Pamzo as their head coach, but yet again they are still in the relegation zone with the 19 points. Then at number 17 is Bidco United with 17 points. Then the last is Sofapaka with 14 points. So do you think APS Bomet inaweza toroka kweli uko heri? Imekuwa ikipanda inashuka, ikipanda imeshuka.
I think the only team that it's decided for them is Sofapaka.
Yeah, Sofapaka tuliacha.
Yeah. So I think them walisha decide a long time that you know, they are out of KPL, and I think that the only team in Premier League that have conceded more goals than any other team.
Yeah, 30.
And they've only scored 14. Yeah. So they're not. Though Bidco is not far away from them, you know, in terms of the goal difference.
Yeah,
in terms of
Bidco has conceded 27.
27, yeah, and they've scored 14.
As well, yeah.
So right now, with the kind of matches that are remaining, I think maybe, but the one that I can bet that you know, will go out of the KPL is Sofapaka. For Bidco, because if you take a look on the points,
Bidco is 17 points. Then we have Ulinzi.
Then Ulinzi
At
so
19.
for I think
APS Bomet 19. So
so the only thing that is decided is for Sofapaka.
So let's
for
wait.
the rest. for the rest, there is a
We wait
still
and see.
possibility of interchanging,
Yeah.
with the rest of the matches that are still ongoing. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to be careful because
Yeah, they
the
have
league
to.
now
Yeah.
is coming to the end. Unajua ikifika hapa mwisho kuna mtu anataka kulose
Yeah,
the
sure,
match.
sure.
So they have to be really careful. But Sofapaka, I think it's already decided they are going to the National Super League. And talking about the National Super League, now it's getting hotter. Huko National Super League with the teams like the KFC and Migori United back to their winning ways.
Yeah, sure.
Remember, starting of the season, I was really on about 3KFC nikiangalia nikaona wanaweza fika pale to the Kenya Premier League. But now let me just tell you which games were played in the National Super League. Remember also Mombasa United iko pale juu, and also we have Mofa kama venye amekwambia played against. But now this is how the table looks like. So far, let me just kwanza nianzie na games zilichezwa. Was the main match of the weekend was Migori versus Darajani Gogo, with Migori getting a 2-1 win over Darajani Gogo. Then we had 3K getting a win over Soi. That is a 2-1 win as well over Soi. Then we had a 0-0 draw, Fortune Sacco versus Viga United. Then Zoya Sugar versus Nairobi City managed to get a 0-0 draw. So nothing much to talk about on Sunday. Then on Saturday, that is, we had Mwatate United versus Gucha Stars, where Mwatate United beat Gucha Stars 3-1. Then we had Kibera versus Kabati, where Kibera beat Kabati 1-0. Then we had Talanta versus Kisumu All Stars. Kisumu All Stars yet again getting a thrashing. That is a 5-1 thrashing by Talanta FC. Then we had a Naivas play against Luanda Villa. Luanda Villa getting a thrashing as well. 3-goal thrashing by Naivas FC. Then we had Mombasa United getting a 1-0 win over Mofa. That means Mombasa United cemented their top spot pale juu with 43 points. Then Migori at number 2 with 40 points. Then we have Mofa at number 3 with 38 points. But just hapo chini yake, it's number 4 is 3KFC with 37 points. Then number 5 is Equity Bank with 34 points. So what does this mean to Mofa? Do they need to be careful?
Actually, they do.
Yeah, because the second of the half of the season sasa,
Yeah.
imeanza kukaa ni kama wameanza
wameanza
points.
kupoteza mwelekeo
Yeah,
kidogo. And they really should be careful because of course between them with the KFC, I think it's only a point.
Yeah, it's only a point. Yeah, that's 7, that's 8.
Yeah, and next is that they're having Naivas. Remember, Naivas also were a threat at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's
so,
still a threat.
Yeah,
Hatuwezi
hatuwezi
count them
nini.
out,
So
yeah.
if in case wapigwe na Naivas, watakuwa out of top 3, which I won't wish for them because they are my favorites. But of course, they had to lose against Mombasa United because with the kind of motivation, because the moment motivation iko pale.
I told you, the moment these players get the enough motivation,
Sure.
Talking about motivation, we only talk about the money.
Yeah,
when they
sure.
get the enough support that they need, kama venye you mentioned, we
Yeah,
saw
they were
awarded 24 million by the governor.
Yeah.
From Mombasa. So with that type of motivation, what do you expect from your players? Of course, they
will
love
win,
to win.
definitely. Yeah, they will win. So Mofa they have to tread very carefully because their next match is with the Naivas, which Naivas it can end up a draw but again 3KFC is behind them, just behind them with a 1 point difference. And I think with 3KFC they have got Gucha. So definitely they have to win that for them to become top 3. So
and Gucha is a terrifying side
yeah,
to face.
sure. Kwanza wakikutana
kama
hizi big
Shabana
team.
hiyo. Ni kama Shabana.
Yeah.
So we have Equity Bank versus Mombasa United. Then, but that's also another tough match for Mombasa United. Remember, Equity Bank iko mbali, iko number 5.
Yeah.
Then we have Viga Queens or Viga United versus Migori. Then Nairobi City will be facing Mwatate. Then we have Gucha Stars versus 3KFC. Then we have Kisumu All Stars versus Nzoia. I think
that's a pass for Nzoia.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Definitely.
I think Kisumu All Stars All Stars need to do something. Yeah. Then we have Mofa versus Naivas, another tough match for Mofa. Then we have So United against Talanta. Then Darajani Gogo will be facing Kibera. Then Kabati will be facing Fortune Sacco. That I think that's a easy, let's say a 50-50 match. So as I've told you, Mombasa United number 1, then Migori number 2, then Mofa number 3, then number 4 is 3KFC, number 5 is Equity Bank with 34 points, then Fortune Sacco at number 6 with 32 points as well. Then we have number 7 is Talanta with 32 points, then Kibera at number 8 with 30 points, then at number 9 is So United with 29 points, tied all the way to number 11, that is number 10 Nairobi City, then Nzoia Sugar at number 11 with 29 points. all three of them. Then at number 12 is Neighbours with 28 points. Then Gucci Stars at number 13 with 25 points. Then the last four now, they are going for relegation. It's number 17 Mwatate United with 18 points, tied with number 18 Kisumu All Stars with 18 points. Then Viga United at number 16 with 19 points, at number 19 with 16 points. Then number 20, of course, is the MCF. We don't like talking about MCF. We know what happened. Yeah. So this just are the updates hapa nyumbani. So I want now to shift gears tuangalie pale English Premier League. What happened during the weekend? I'm talking about the English Premier League. Unaona ashaanza kusmile. Anyway, talking about the English Premier League. Let's go to our social media at Y254 channel. Remember, hashtag is still Y in the morning. Just go at Y254 channel pale Facebook. Remember, you put up a post pale. Let me just read it for you. Najua mnataka kujua ni inasema nini. Of course, inasema wewe celebrate lakini usiniguze. Hiyo game tulikuwa tunishawalemea. Kama si hiyo red card na kutuibia wangetujua. Anyway, just go to comment your thoughts. What did you think about that game? Then we'll just tutajua as we go on the show. So I just want to talk about the game of the weekend. Ama tuanze na Manchester United. Let's start with Manchester United. Manchester United played against Crystal Palace, where Manchester United managed to get a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace getting a red card in the game, but Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes managed to equalize the game. Then, of course, Benjamin Sesko, wanamuita Airlines, Maheda, managed to get a header to seal it off for Manchester United. That is a 2-1 win. Now, what does this mean for Manchester United? It means two things. They are unbeaten so far in 2026, and they are still sitting at number 3 ahead of Aston Villa, who managed to drop their points. So what does this mean for Carrick? Is Carrick the best choice for Manchester United?
Actually, this really brings to limelight that the issue was about the coach. Unajua, Carrick yani wameclick tu na players.
Yeah,
vizuri sana. Because okay, all I can say Manu is Manu ni yule adui ambayo humuombei kifo lakini unamwombea njaa. Adui tunamwombea njaa lakini sio kifo, unakuta. Because I'm so proud of them. But you know, I don't of course there is no way I'm wishing them to, you know, to
win the league,
to be on our neck. But I'm so proud of them because I can't even comprehend that Manu at one point were number 10, you know. I mean, that comeback is so amazing, and I mean, even history have it that now Carrick, I think, is now after Frank Ferrell. That is in 1971, I guess. Carrick now becomes the record breaker that he has won. He's the only coach in Manchester United that have won his 5 matches consecutively, having been immediately appointed, you know. So that's how good Manu is. That's how good Manu is in the form, you know. And big up also to kiungo muhimu sana Bruno Fernandes. You know, that guy is really amazing. I think right now ndo kama CR7 or Manchester.
Remember talking about Bruno Fernandes in that Manchester United squad, in that, let's say, Manchester United history, is only the only player, I think, that one of the 3 players that have managed to get 100 plus goals and 100 plus assists in Manchester United. That is with the likes of Giggs and also Rooney. Then we have Bruno Fernandes. So can we consider Bruno Fernandes a legend at Manchester United?
Sure, for sure. Of the recent times, it should be, because that guy amekuwa like he has been very, very, very key player, you know, in terms of assist, you know, because remember, if he was a striker, definitely angekuwa na score more goals. If he was a striker, but remember, he's playing in the mid, and he's really, 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 you know, giving key passes and all that. I like how good he is in terms of set piece taking, you know, in terms of penalty, free kicks, fouls. Man, that Portuguese is so amazing, and I'm so proud of him. But definitely,
I think all Manchester United fans wish Bruno Fernandes was a little bit younger, maybe in his 20s, but you know, football, of course, ukishaanza kuzeka, the legs stop working. But we want to see the best of Manchester United.
Definitely, I think Kenya inaweza ombea. There's no way that they can carry the title though. There's no way that they are going to do it, but naombea wafike UCL.
Probably. We need to see them back. I think the last time we saw Manchester United in the Champions League was in 2022.
Sure.
Kuna mtu niliona post pale ikisema Manchester United kuna mchezaji wa Manchester United I've never seen Mbappe.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the side of the banter. So Manchester United managed to win against Crystal Palace. Now they'll be facing Newcastle this midweek, which is another tough game for Manchester United. But we have seen Manchester United does not tremble against the big teams. So we want to see what will happen. Carrick Ball itafanya kazi kweli ama finally watachapwa. And talking about now, the games now, we want to see which other team played. Remember, Aston Villa managed to drop points against Aston Villa. I don't know, they have been disappointing a lot because I think they were one of the favorites now to win the league, but so far I think Manchester United have replaced them. So they played against which team was it? I just forget. Oh, Wolves. Yeah.
They were beaten 2-0.
Yeah, I think on Friday. Yeah, that's why I'm forgetting the game because they played. They started the weekend on Friday where they played against Wolves. Were beaten 2-0 by Wolves. But another disappointing result from Aston Villa. I think so far we can say maybe they are fighting for the top 5 because, of course, EPL they'll manage to take their top 5 to the Champions League. So Aston Villa are still fighting for the top 5 spot, with also Liverpool playing against West Ham with another thrashing for West Ham, 5-2 by Liverpool. Then we had Manchester City play against Leeds. But genuinely, Niambia, what did you think about the Manchester City game against Leeds? Do you think Manchester City are really a threat to you?
Kwanza mimi hata ilikuwa naomba Leeds ingetushikia kidogo because we are not off the hook really.
So let me just interrupt you. Ukiangalia kwa this new Pep Guardiola, is it the same Pep Guardiola wa kitambo? Because ukiangalia compared to now, I think Pep Guardiola anacheza haramu. Akishafunga moja, now he start to defend more. Do you think Pep Guardiola is going all the way for the trophy? Ama unaangalia unaona Pep Guardiola maybe ako desperate because he wants the wins.
I'm pretty sure this will be his last season with Man City. Right now he's just playing for survival, like how previously he's been playing professionally, you know, and all that. Because right now, if you take a look, right now Man City, like you know, the other seasons will have been way much ahead. Wangetukua matches hizo teams zingine na gap sana. So I guess for now he's just playing for survival. Hopefully kama atawin, because remember they're still in other competition. But sisi naye pia it's been over 20 years, man. So I really don't think, but we can't say it's football. But again, we as Arsenal, we are not really off the hook because it's only we with Liverpool, with the Wolves rather, that have played 29 matches. So others, the interchanging, the replacement of the position still can happen, you know. So that's it. But Leeds really didn't, you know, ilikuwa tunaomba of course watushikie, but it's football, you know, it's football.
Yeah, it's football. Yeah. And talking about Arsenal now, I want to, najua Kevin ameshangaa mbona siongelee this match sana. So I want to look at Chelsea versus Arsenal. What really happened in this game? Remember, Chelsea played against Arsenal all away to Emirates. Well, Arsenal managed to beat Chelsea yet again. 11 games played, as I've told you earlier on. 11 games played, 0 wins for Chelsea against Arsenal. So do you think now Chelsea can accept the fact that Arsenal is dominating them in the EPL?
Definitely. London is red now. There is no negotiation to that.
What are the trophies? The question is, where are the trophies?
It's fine. It's coming. Remember, you are still in 4 other major competitions. This season is ours. This season is ours. But with the match that you know was played, big ups to our goalkeeper David Raya.
Yeah, David Raya. I think was amazing for that. It was amazing, man.
I mean, because you guys had got so tremendous opportunities, you know, to win that match. I mean, you had got all possibility, all the odds were on your side. If you went for the corners, you know, and all that, because you know game Arteta, definitely, if leave alone the set pieces, the corners, the whatever, if the match were just to be played in the pitch, you know, and goals were to be considered there, definitely you would have gone with the win. Yeah, but you know,
game is game.
Game is a game, man. You know, you never know where the win will come from. Could be from penalty, could be from the corners, you know, could be from whatever. But yule keeper ametusaidia sana, alitokolea, because that match, it's either we are going to go draw with you or you are to win. But again, tuliwafungia. So anyway,
Yeah, they say this 2026. I think the new game now is all about the
Yeah.
set piece. If you
Yeah,
manage
sure.
to get your set piece and defend them well, you
Yeah.
manage to win the game. Remember in this game, all the goals came from the set piece.
Yeah,
No
sure.
open goal. No, remember hata Chelsea hawakufunga bao yao walifungiwa. Anyway, I want to talk about the red card for Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
What did you think about that red card? Before even looking at the comments, which should be looking at them.
I mean, not for you guys. I really don't know how it has been with you, because yani mnacheza with a lot of pressure, right? Leave alone even the Neto one, even for Fofana last, you also considered a red card. I guess nile tu kucheza na pressure, you know, like
silly mistakes.
Yeah, with the silly mistakes again. I really don't know what you are racing for, because for the title is not yours, but maybe for the UCL probably, because
But
right
even,
now
even the UCL, the draws, man.
yeah, because for now the race is so competitive, that of course you have to pile up that pressure.
Yeah.
You can't just but though you tread carefully with it. But it was too much. It was too much for you guys. It was too much. That kind of pressure, playing with a lot of heat, and in a later is a red card. I mean, player akishapatiwa yellow card, you
Need to
have
be
now
careful.
to play. Yeah, you should be playing carefully. That should be at the back of your mind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, true.
or again, I think really should. This is how it should be. Yeah, as a coach or as a manager, if you really see a player amepatiwa yellow card, and you can really predict with how he's playing, he's about to be
just
given a
sub
red
him
card.
off.
Just sub him off, for on the safer side, because unajua player akipatiwa a red card, then he has to miss the player has to miss rather some matches, and with a player having a red card in your history book, again, doesn't sit well,
Yeah.
So I guess the coaches should always be seeing that, all the managers, that the moment a player has been given a yellow card, also for the defense, when a player is, because pale defense mkiwa na gap, player amepatiwa red card, I think won't really sit well with the team. So
Yeah, true.
It should be a red flag. It should be a red
something need to be done in that Chelsea team because the discipline. So I want just to look at the comments. Remember, we put up a post pale kakwambia keep commenting, then I'll be sampling some of the few comments even before looking at the EPL fixtures that we have. So I want to look at the comments. Tuangalie, what are you saying? Remember tulikuwa tumekuuliza wewe celebrate tu na lakini usiniguze. Hiyo game tulikuwa tunashalemea. Kama si hiyo tu red card na kutuibia wangetujua. Anyway, these are just some of the few comments that we have sampled. Now I just want to read them. So we have Gibbs Peter anasema nyi mnaishi kuteta. Anajua hapo ni directly to the Chelsea fans. Then Prince Nevins and na love anasema aya type sasa bila uchungu. Then a little bit of a click there. Then those are our immediate wives. Oh my. Then we have Clemo Junior Bakayoko anasema Tiborua iko ndani. Well, good morning Clemo. Then we have Morris Kimosi anasema najua inauma lakini iko hivyo. Then we have Papi Bob anasema red card hiyo ndio inawanga reason ya team ya wamama. Okay, then we have Mark Rela anasema wale nao walibebwa live hata watoto wa CBC wenye wamerudi chuo waliona. Then some replies pale Zak anamuuliza aje sasa. Then also Mark Rela akareply Zak kama ukuona uwezi jua. And that's a little bit of banter. Then I think Joseph Wandera, the last comment that we have is anasema sawa, talking about the games.
Yeah.
Na kituonesha the goals, how the goals were scored. So those are a few of the comments that you managed to put up on social media. So I just want to look at another game that was played was Brentford against Burnley. Brentford gets in a 4-3 win against Burnley. Then we had Everton and Newcastle. Newcastle being beaten by Everton 3-2. Remember, Newcastle will be facing Chelsea. This not Chelsea, Manchester United rather. Then Chelsea will be facing Aston Villa. So I just want to look at some of the few fixtures that we have in the English Premier League this midweek. Remember, in the weekend we have the FA Cup where we have a lot of matches to be played. So these are just a few matches that we have. That is match day 29 of 38. Remember, we have 11. We have about now 10 games to be played for the EPL to be over na tuone nani atabeba title. So tomorrow, that is tomorrow on Tuesday, we have Everton and Burnley. Then we have Bournemouth and Brentford. Then we have Leeds and Sunderland. Then we have Wolves and Liverpool. Do you think Liverpool will be beaten by Wolves?
hii Wolves iko na ujinga sana ya kushikilia big teams. You never know, unaona?
Yeah, you never know.
Venye wamefanyia nani Villa, so hata pia hii Wolves ilitupotezea point sana. So Liverpool have to tread carefully with
them. I have to do something about it. So on Wednesday we have Brighton against Arsenal. Yet again another small team against Arsenal. Remember what happens when Arsenal play a small team?
Yeah, sure.
That means yeah, no, you have already agreed. So that means you are a bigger team. Anyway, we have Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. Then Fulham against West Ham. Then we have Chelsea on Wednesday against Aston Villa. Then on Wednesday, of course, we have Newcastle against Manchester United. Then Tottenham against Crystal Palace. Remember, Tottenham played against Fulham this weekend, and also they did not manage to win against Fulham. So I just want to look at the standings of the table. Tuangalie table inakaaje. So at number 1, of course, is the mighty Arsenal with the 64 points, 29 games played. But at number 2, we have Manchester City. They have played 28 games played so far. So they have an advantage with 59 points. That means a point difference of 5. Then we have number 3 is Manchester United. Finally, I think it's been ages since we saw Manchester United at number 3 with 51 points. Then at number 4 is Aston Villa with 51 points. Then number 5 is Liverpool with 48 points. Then number 6, of course, is Chelsea out of the now Europe competition. I think they are eyeing for the Europa now so far with the 45 points. Then at number 7 is Brentford, 43 points. Then Everton at number 8 with 40 points. Then Fulham with 40 points at number 9. Then number 10, Bournemouth with 39 points. Then number 11 is Brighton with that 7 points. Then number 12, Sunderland with that 7 points. Then Newcastle, number 13 with 6 points. Then at number 14 is Crystal Palace with that 5 points. Then number 15 is Leeds United with that 1 point. Then number 16, Tottenham, now looking to fight for the relegation, is with 29 points. Just behind it is number 17, Nottingham Forest with 27 points. Then number 18, 19 and 20 now, who are favorites to go for to the championship, is West Ham with 25 points, not so far away from Tottenham. Yeah. And then we have Burnley at number 19 with 19 points. Then, of course, Wolves, who have been tuseme wanasumbua tu bure with 13 points. So those are just those are just the how that standings now the table looks like. Remember, we have the key games that I've told you this week, this midweek, and also the weekend we have the FA Cup, and after that the Champions League is back. The round of 16 next week. Then I'll be updating all that tukipatana hapa on Monday and also on Thursday kama kawaida. I'll tell you what really happened during the weekend. So just to sign it off, I want Kevin Otieno tuambie tu kidogo tumalizie. Penye wanaweza kupata social media, don't forget that.
Yeah, sure, of course. Sina budi la kurudisha shukrani. Of course, you know, we are in good health. We can't complain. The world is full of problem. Dunia imejaa mashida. You know, sometimes you just sit back and shida tu zinajileta yenyewe. So why ndo kitu ya muhimu. Wanasema bora why. So I thank the Almighty for the health of you, me, and our dear viewers, you know. And yeah, they can find me across all socials. Is at Sir Otieno Kevin. They keep it at Y254 every Monday. We'll always be here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, you can find me on my social media at James Jones. So, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Remember, we are having an interview that's coming up in just a few minutes. So make sure you're tuning. Remember, hashtag is still we're in the morning. See you in a bit.